Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and I am once again setting a challenge for myself of games I want to play in 2026. I did this last year. I picked 35 games, 10 games that were on BoardGameArena, 15 games from the year before, from 2023, meaning specifically not just 2024, but 2023, a full year back, and then 10 more games from my collection, and I set for myself a challenge of playing 35 different games. I allowed myself the leeway of I wanted to get at least 30 of those 35 games played in 2025, and I almost did. I got 29 out of the 30 I set for myself, which is out of 35, but I let myself have some leeway, and I'll be doing the same thing again this year. I'm starting a challenge off. Oh, and you can watch that recap video, which will be going up at some point. I'll be doing a full recap of the 29 games I've played and my thoughts on them, and I still hope to get to most of the other 6 left, but that's going to be a different video. Well, you can go check that video out whenever that one goes up. So once again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing 3 different videos, 10 games on BoardGameArena that I want to play, 10 games from my collection, and 15 games from 2024, meaning a full year back, so not 2025, but 2024, and most of those I already own. Some of them I'll have to go ahead and pick up, but they're the games that I want to play in 2026. This one is going to be the 10 games on BoardGameArena that I want to play. BoardGameArena is a fantastic site where you can play an absolute ton of games, which is where I play an absolute ton of games. And I regularly make it a habit to go ahead and just play most of the new games that come out on BoardGameArena. I find it's helpful to just see what's out there, and it's easy distraction. It's better than getting distracted by Facebook or who knows what. I mean, you do you, but I try to avoid Facebook, mostly unsuccessfully, but successfully enough by using BoardGameArena as my digital distraction when I need 5 minutes to focus on something else. But with that, I have 10 specific games that I want to pick out from games that are already out on BGA that I hope to play this year. Very often in the past with these games, some of them have turned into some of my favorite games that I absolutely love to play. Others have been play it once and move on, set it and forget it kind of situation. Not every game out there needs to be owned. But with that, let's go ahead and start off with the 10 games, ranking in order of how much I want to play them. And I will note, this year, in my list of 35 games, I'm including some degree of flexibility. Specifically in this video, the flexibility you're going to see is that 2 of these games are games I have played one time, a long time ago, and I want to really give them more time. They're also the games I'm most excited about from the various 10 games we're going to be covering today. So let's go ahead and start off. We're going to start off with number 10. Number 10 was actually higher on the list until I saw the BGG ranking for this one. This is Bohemians. Bohemians from Portal Games. This was I put together the 10 games I wanted to play, and some of them after I saw the ratings I was a little less excited for, but I'm still intrigued enough. Bohemians won a bunch of awards when it first came out, but then it seems like player feedback is not quite as positive as the awards that it won. This is going to be a deck building game that kind of gives me vibes of Let's Go to Japan, the situation where you're kind of playing through your journey over here. So you're building your deck, but you're playing through your story and your life as you go through it. You're participating in a social event, meeting your muse, creating new art, going to work, all of that. The art looks great. I'm very intrigued by the art. It's Portal Games, which does give me good vibes. Portal Games generally puts out pretty good games. The 6.6 rating definitely has me a little less excited for it. Coming in at number 9, we have Irish Guage. Irish Guage is going to be a classic, not really stock taking, an investment kind of game, a train situation, a train game. It's a train game where you have the whole stock market. This is a lighter, more accessible one. It's come out quite some time ago. This is a 2014 title, and I was interested in this back when it first came out, but I never played it, and the time has gone by, and I was like, you know what? I saw it on BGA, and I was like, this is a good opportunity to go ahead and try it out and see if it's one that I need to add. Again, the 7.2 rating does not make me think it's going to fall into the need to add. Don't get me wrong, every year there's always games that I love that are in that 7 to 7.3 rating scale on BGG. Your rating is not going to be the same as everyone else's, but it is usually a good indicator. A 7.2 has a lower chance of being loved by me, not no chance at all. But I'm still intrigued. I still want to play it. It's a quick enough game, plays in around an hour, so it should be easy to dive into and learn. That's going to be Irish Guage. And again, it's one of those games that's kind of a good intro to the train game genre, the whole 18xx kind of genre. I've played a bunch of games in the 18xx genre. I've never loved the 18xx genre, but I've always enjoyed them enough that I'm excited enough to play Irish Guage. Then we have Path of Civilization. This is the story of humankind. Path of Civilization from Captain Games. It's going to be a kind of 4X game, but not really a 4X, not a 4X. It's a civ building game. It's a civ building game utilizing some of the mechanics of a civ building game while leaving others, like some of the various X's, on the table. You take reins of civilization, make the various choices you need as you try to lead your people to glory. Again, same kind of situation. This was higher on my list, and I saw the 7.2. Still excited, still intrigued. I remember wanting to play this when it first came out, and just, it missed me. Sometimes that happens. Every year, there's always games that you're going to miss, and Path Civilization is one that now it's on BGA, I want to try it out. Then there's the Game Makers. Speaking of games that missed you, the Game Makers isn't even out yet. This is not out, but it is available on BoardGameArena to play, and that's where I hope to play it, because that's what this video is. But the Game Makers, from Bezier Games, raised over $1 million in crowdfunding. That 7, again, does not have me super excited, but honestly, this is a weird one where I was never super excited for the Game Makers, because it's a game, that's a meta game. It's all around the hobby that we're in, featuring all these various games as you deal with the worker placement, a little bit of a kind of a Tolkien-style wheel situation as you place them and figure out when they're going to resolve. But overall, the theme is nice. I just have less confidence in general that meta-style games are the best of the best. Games like, I don't know, what's the one? Meeples and Monsters and Meeple, what was the Rampage one? It used to be called Rampage, but Terror of Meeple City. Those kinds of games generally are not the best of the best. Sometimes there could be exceptions. Terror of Meeple City was actually pretty good at what it was trying to do. But the Game Makers is one that I do plan on playing it on BGA. I need to learn it. I already have someone who wants to play it with me. I need to go ahead and learn it and get it played. But this is one that I'm intrigued by, and the availability of games that are in crowdfunding that you could go ahead and still decide to get. That's something I love seeing BGA, Board Game Arena, utilized for. What's the name? That's the company that does it. Oh my gosh, not the people who did Carson City, whose names I'm forgetting. They do it all. The Carnegie. I'm blanking on the name, but they do it all the time with their crowdfunding games, so they make sure they're available on Board Game Arena for you to try out while you're going ahead and diving into crowdfunding. Allplay, speaking of which, Allplay is a channel sponsor. Forgot to mention that's a video, but thank you to Allplay to sponsoring the channel. They also do it on their crowdfunding campaigns. They've done it with Twinkle Twinkle. They did it with, what was the one? River Valley Glassworks. They have made their games available on Board Game Arena for people to try out and see if they're for them. I think it's a hugely valuable thing for people to do, for publishers to do, so you can back the game with the knowledge of being able to play it, or at the very least having more opinions out there from other people who have played the game. So I really like it when game companies do it, and I'm going to take advantage of that with the Game Makers. Then there's Terra Nova. Terra Nova is part of the line of Terra Mystica, which is Terra Mystica, Gaia Project, Terra Nova, and then there's the newest one, which I always forget the name of, but there's a fourth one. There's basically 4 games utilizing the Terra Mystica system. Now, I like Terra Mystica, but never loved it. I like Gaia Project a bit more, but never loved it, and I haven't played the 4th one, but I'm going to try Terra Nova out anyway. Again, it's one of those games, 60 to 90 minutes, should be easy to dive into it. I know the game is based off of, so I have that kind of infrastructure in mind, making it an easier learn, and I really like seeing whether a game works for me or not. Again, everyone's different. Everyone has different tastes as far as how things work for them. Pirates of Maracaibo, I adore. Maracaibo, which I finally played, I still want to give it more plays, but Maracaibo I think is good. And Pirates of Maracaibo is amazing. It makes me think that if Alexander Pfister ever makes a Great Western Trail like oh, he did. They did make a small box Great Western Trail. The El Paso one. I should try that. I should try the El Paso game. Now I want to find out if that's on BJ. I don't think it is, but I need to try that game because apparently I sometimes like the smaller box version. Then again, there's Terraforming Mars where I prefer the big box version much more than Ares Expedition. But Terra Nova, I definitely plan on playing this one. Fun fact, I like the original Terra Nova from 2006. Same name, different game. Really enjoyed that one. That's a good example of a game that only has like a 6.7, 6.8 rating, and I still love it. BGG ratings are a good guide. They are a good indicator of whether you should be trying something or not, but they are not the be-all and everything. Then we have In the Year of the Dragon from 2007, a Stefan Feld game that I still haven't gotten tabled. I have been wanting to play this game for a long time. I finally gave up. Like, I got rid of my physical copy. Again, I'll happily try out. Whenever Queen Games puts this in their city collection, I'll happily try it out then. But this way I can get a leg up on that by playing it now and seeing how I feel about it. I don't know a ton about the game. I do know it's one of those games where you have to be comfortable watching the entire world crash and burn down around you. That's a big part of the game, apparently. He's done that in other games, like Bruges has that kind of disaster mechanic. The question is always how much of a disaster is something. Like, how much is it about the pain and suffering that you're all suffering together, and how much it is about actually building up fun things. I am intrigued by In the Year of the Dragon. Always, like, the art never pulled me in. Like, this feels like an old school game as far as the production of it. We'll see. I want to play it. The 7.3, again, you've heard me talk about ratings at this point in the video. I am intrigued. It's a good enough rating, and it's a Stefan Feld game. I don't think I've ever disliked a Stefan Feld game. It's always been a question of how much I liked a Stefan Feld game. Then we have coming in at number 4, we have Tower Up. This is on my list to play, I don't even know when, but I want to say at a Gen Con at some point. I've had this on my radar for a while from Monolith Board Games. It's very intriguing, but it looks... It's an intriguing game that I heard a lot of buzz about it when the first time I was at a convention. There were a lot of people who said, "Oh, if you tried it, they really enjoyed it, they really liked it." And then over time, I just found less of the buzz was there. It kind of devolved into a game that's okay, which again, that's 7.3 kind of situation. But it's still one that I've wanted to try out, and I've been resistant to buying a copy until I tried it because I have a backlog that I need to get to, and I try to be really excited about games or have played them first before diving into them. But this one, now that I saw it's available on BoardGameArena, this is a good time to go ahead and do exactly that. It does seem like it might have that light simplicity that can make games really engaging at times while also making their ratings usually in that lower 7s. Sometimes the light simplicity can push the rating down of a game while not necessarily suffering from how good the actual experience can be. So Tower Up, I'm intrigued, I'm excited. This is from Monolith War Games. Tower Up, my number 4. My number 3 is Praga Caput Regni over here. This one I've had in my collection for quite some time, never really gotten to it, from Vladimir Sushi from Delicious Games. I just played Evacuation. That was also part of my last year's challenge. I got to Evacuation, which came out even later, by the way. Like, I remember Praga Caput Regni has been out for quite some time. I just never got to it. But this one is rated much higher than Evacuation. I did enjoy Evacuation. I thought it was very good, but in the realm of all the amazing Euros I have, it doesn't make the cut. It's good. It's very, very good. If you want to try Evacuation, I was very impressed by it. But Praga Caput Regni is even higher rated. A 7.8 is a big deal. Again, this is one of those things, you've heard me talk a lot at this point about, like, you know, from 7s or 6.6s to 7.3s. There is that kind of range. Anything below like a 7.4, I find, 7.3 really, is usually like a good game, but you know, how good is it? Once you cross over to a 7.7, 7.8, they are really, really good, and between that 7.3, 7.7, that's often where it's much more situational. Like a 7.4, 7.5, that can be good for one person, like really good for one person, less so for another. I mean, ratings are inherently averages, but I do find that 7.3 versus 7.8 are worlds apart as far as how likely they are to be a great game. Praga Caput Regni, it's in the top 200 games of all time. That's a big marker. That's not like, not top 100, but that's still very, very, very good. This one, Charles IV has been crowned the King of Bohemia and ruler of the Holy Roman Empire. You're taking the rule of wealthy citizens who are organizing various building projects in medieval Prague. One of the main things about this game that compelled me is the idea of all these actions chaining into various bonuses. Like, if you look at the reviews for it, it does seem to have that aspect of just chaining rewards. And I've always loved chaining rewards. When I play games like Encyclopedia or Darwin's Journey, many other games that aren't immediately coming to mind, chaining rewards are one of the things that can make a game system so incredibly... Pirates of Maracaibo. It's so incredibly satisfying when you have a bunch of things happening all at once because of a few things coming together very nicely, and that seems to be something that makes this game stand out. So I am very excited for this one. Haven't played it yet, but very excited for this one. And then my top 2 are ones that I have played before. I've played each of these one time, and I want to play them more. One of them more than the other. Coming in number 2, we have Yokohama. Yokohama over here, this is Yokohama. Yokohama is coming in at 153 on BoardGameGeek, another 7.8 title. I played the older version of this game, and I thought it was pretty good. Like, I thought it was pretty good, but it didn't wow me. Something about the game never fully pulled me in. You basically kind of have this weird worker placement game where it's like worker placement / area control as you kind of try to control the spots on various cards. It reminds me a little bit of Troyes as far as the way that system is used, but it's a little different. It's really just worker placement with an interesting twist to it. It was very well loved. I played the TMG, like this is like the orange box version you see over here. I played that. I had the deluxe TMG version. I played it. I was like, it's pretty good, but I wasn't completely wowed by it. I don't know what it was. But again, it's in the top 200. It's just outside the top 150 games of all time. And ever since the new version has come out, I've wanted to try this one out again because sometimes I have found that I give a game one play and then I give it more plays, and sometimes that additional plays can really spark it a lot higher. So I am intrigued by this one. I do want to play it. I am mixed on it because maybe it'll be absolutely amazing and incredible and I'll be over the hill, or maybe it'll just be the game I remember. And maybe sometimes the second play is just as good or okay as the first play. So we'll see. Again, I don't remember. This wasn't a game I disliked. It wasn't the game I loved. It was just a good game, and the world is full of good games, and I don't make time for good games. I try to make time for great games. Well, I also make time for a lot of mediocre games, but that's the nature of reviewing things and playing them multiple times. But I try, ideally, in a perfect world, I try to only make time for the best games, of the best possible games. And coming in at number 1 is a game that I absolutely loved. I thought it was one of the best first experiences I have. I hope that this game gets a deluxeified version at some point, because I think that the production really holds it back to a certain degree. But the game is Keyflower, coming in at 100, despite being a 7.7, by the way, slightly lower rating. It has more ratings, and therefore it's coming in at 129 on BoardGameGeek. I remember I played Keyflower one time, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Again, I think visually the game looks terrible. This game needs a deluxeified version, but it was such a good experience, and I remember thinking that this is an incredible game that I need to play again and again and again and again. But that was like, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago was when I played Keyflower one time, and I still have refused to get rid of it since because I have such fond memories of how good that first play was. But I haven't played it since. And so it's one of those games that I do want to play it again. I want to like relearn it, because at this point I barely remember what you're doing in the game. You have these board, and you have these buildings, and you're bidding on tiles. There's a whole lot of things happening, but I don't remember the core systems as far as how they all work together. I just remember that I loved it. But I'm excited to learn this one again, and then as soon as I do, play it on BGA, and then as soon as I do that, assuming it holds up to where I remember, make sure that I can then introduce it to my game group and play it with them, because there are so many great games, and Keyflower has been one play, a single play has held this in my collection for 4 years. Also, full disclaimer, because this stuff and sometimes things work, it could well be I'll play it again and be like, you know what, it's not as good as I remember, and you may see it in a game's leaving the collection video in 2 months. That's entirely possible as well. It's always hard to see. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm optimistic. We shall see what happens. Those are my 10 games from BoardGameArena that I want to specifically set for myself as a challenge to try out this year. I'll be doing 2 more videos. I'll be doing a video of, I don't know the order they go up in, but I have 2 more videos coming, or already up, of 15 games from 2024 that I want to play that I haven't gotten to yet. And then I have 10 games from my collection as well, which also has a twist on that one. I'm doing a twist compared to what I did last year for that video, and it might be something that I try to do every year. I think I'm kind of happy with the idea. For myself, for my own goals, I'm happy. We'll see. But you can watch that video out. Either way, until next time, I'm Alex. You can watch that video out. You can watch out for that video. Either way, until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.